So what you're about to see is incredible. He's rebuilding the fighting spirit of heroes who came home from Gaza on stretchers, without limbs, without hope, and he's giving them their fight back. Now, before you meet Sagi, Dovev, you have to see him in action.
קח מכל צייר את הציור שלך, יש לך אחד יפה, ואין שום דבר שיעצור אותך, תפליג לאן שרק תרצה, ורק אל תפחד ליפול, רק אל תפחד לגדול. כל עוד לא הפסקת לחלום, אתה מנצח, כאילו אין מחר לחיות היום, תחזיק רק ליום, כל עוד לא הפסקת לחלום, אתה מנצח.
He was brain dead for 2 months, severely wounded in Gaza. Sayeret Nachal.
What do you mean he was brain dead? He was awake, but he was like a vegetable, non-responsive?
Yeah.
And just laying in a bed in the hospital?
He was in induced coma.
He was in induced coma, so he wasn't awake?
No. It was like brain dead. It's a huge miracle. 2 months.
What's his name?
Tohal.
How old?
So look at him. 19. This is after 6 months already. After he woke up.
You gotta send me this video. Let me ask you something. How many...
And look at him at the end. We're fighting. The day he was released here this Thursday, he went to Bet Levinstein.
Oh yeah?
So I promised him we'll spar. You know, this is the sparring the day he was released.
You know what the greatest thing I see right now? I'm not looking at his gloves hitting you. Look at his face.
Yeah, how happy he is.
You just gave him like
life.
That's the
story. That's the whole story. You see, I teach him in moving, he nails it.
Oh my God.
How crazy.
No, I mean, they went in as fighters. They went in as fighters for Israel and the Jewish people, for all of Israel. Yes. Jews, Druze, Christians, doesn't matter, Muslims. And they sacrificed 19 years old. They don't have anything. Like, imagine, like, we're the same age essentially, okay? Go back to when you're 19. How little did you know? You didn't know shit.
It's kids. I always say to Americans when I go there and I speak, I told them, okay, so these are 19-year-olds. What are your sons and daughters doing when they're 19? What did you do when you were 19? Yeah. Did you protect the Jewish people and sacrificed your body, your limbs, your lives for the Jewish people? No. So
they didn't have to, and you can't blame them for it.
No,
but on the other side, it's just to open up their eyes to say, listen, there's a reality that was brought upon us. We don't want this.
Exactly. But you said something true. He's a warrior. He's a fighter, and this is exactly what I'm doing. They're still fighters, and I'm
bringing it out of them.
Yes. All they want to do is fight. You know, physiotherapy and occupational therapy.
Yeah. It's technical.
Is nice. It's good. It's important.
Yeah.
But they are fighters. A day before he was injured.
You work here, through here.
Listen, a day, you see the pictures. This is why I always put a picture of before as a soldier.
You have to.
You see him strong, 19-year-old with a gun, with a vest, with operations around the globe, doing special operations, commando, you name it. They could do anything they want. And a day later, they're in a hospital bed, without a leg, without a hand, with a brain injury. You name it, and they need someone to take care of them, someone to feed them, someone to help them take a shower, and they want to feel like warriors again. They want to feel like men.
I live in a community where just on my street we have 40 homes, and of the 40 homes we have 3 kids who were killed in either Lebanon or Gaza. One on October 7th, one in Gaza, and another one in Lebanon, and the amount of attention, rightfully so, that the fallen soldiers get, the bumper stickers, the memorials, and that, it's amazing, right? And people want to memorialize everybody who gave their lives. But I have a feeling that, and I see this with your videos that go out, you get a lot of attention and that, but I did a fundraiser for your organization, because this is like, for me, this is like the ninth front. We talked about this, the ninth front. And these are like the forgotten warriors. I believe that they're the forgotten warriors. Oh, they survived the casualties. You always hear about the death, but not you hear about casualties. Oh, thank God they're just a casualty.
People don't understand that the war is just beginning. You know, it's just starting for those guys, for those heroes.
Yeah.
I see them every day, all day. I see them at the rehabilitation center. I see them outside at their houses. I see them trying to go back to life, but it's so complicated. Because apart from the physical injury, it's mental. It's there's so many injuries and so many logistic problems they are having, and bureaucracy problems with everything. All they do every day is thinking about how can they go from one rehabilitation to another rehabilitation and get the funding from the government and from Misad HaBitachon, Agaf Shikum.
So a bureaucratic nightmare, and then on top of that,
and get the car and get the sticker and get this is what they do all day, every day, and it's a war.
Are there like any agents or anybody that kind of helps like move this along? I mean, it would sound like, I mean, I know that when it comes to soldiers with like PTSD, the Ministry of Defense put together some sort of organization that they have certain agents that you could go to so they're not overwhelmed. And the agents are overwhelmed.
Yes.
And so everything is, there's so much bottleneck, it's not really working.
There are more than 25,000 injured soldiers just from this war, without all the the next PTSD.
What you're talking about physically injured? 25,000 physically injured, not including
not including the PTSD.
How many of the 25,000 are injured in a way that let's say missing limb, things that are irreversible for the rest of their lives?
Almost everything is irreversible. It's like you'll never go to 100%. You'll never go to what you were before, never, ever. Even if it's a small injury. It's not the same. I see them, and I see the guys coming back. They were injured 2 years ago. They were out of the hospital a year and a half ago, but they're still here. They came back from another surgery and another surgery, and doing, changing the prosthetics, and you name it. It's endless.
So listen, I mean, you're wearing a shirt. This is House of Heroes.
Yes.
And this is your organization that we were helping bring more attention to, and the work that you do as an individual. As an individual, and this is just me. This is me speaking. You make a difference on a one-to-one basis. The actual soldiers that you see, the progression from a vegetable to a warrior again. They may not be a physical warrior, but you see in their heart they get that back, which is life. That for me is life. You give them back life. But for 25,000 people, you're one guy. How many people could you work with, and how is it scalable? And this is why I actually wanted to highlight your work, knowing full well that it wasn't like it's not like a scalable thing. Yeah. But I think that what is missing in a lot of organizations is this idea of support me or not support me, I don't care. Support the mission. Understand that there is a problem out there, that I don't care if you want to support House for Heroes by giving donations, so you can do more work and you can hire more people and train more people to do what you do, because
and get the place,
get the physical space,
get the physical space outside of the hospital.
I mean, for me, it's unbelievable that there's not one big, large organization that is raising tens of millions of dollars in some like Hollywood like gala that doesn't bring you on and be like, listen, what do you need? Oh, you need $500,000? Yeah, no problem. You know what? We want you to be one of our advocates. We want to bring you into help and to help communicate that we are fighting a ninth front of a war.
Yeah.
It baffles me that these organizations aren't doing that, and I would even say that those organizations are being funded by individual donors. And I think any individual donor who is giving millions of dollars, $500,000 every year, if they can't look at the real, on the ground, the most leanest, most efficient way to heal people and bring back life of those who gave their lives for these donors and for all of Israel, whatever. Like I just don't.
So I always say I'm not a business guy, and I'm not a professional fundraising person. and I don't know all the shticks and all the politics and the bureaucracy. So
No, but that makes it more attractive.
so I'm
because
telling you,
you're not corrupted.
So I'm talking to all the big donors, all the rich Jewish important people.
Yeah.
If you want to donate and help support a cause that is so important, I'm not objective because this is what I do.
Of course, you're not objective. No, because
but I think today, because I go to all those, I go to the galas to try to connect to people, and I go to those conferences and everything, and everybody's talking about rebuilding Israel and the resilience of the people and the resilience of the heroes, and the heroes are. And I'm there with my guys, with the real heroes.
Yeah, but you know what though? But
let us speak, let us talk, support us.
No, but that's great though. The fact that they're actually.
And I'm sorry I don't have big galas, and I don't have.
No, you don't need that. No.
I'm sorry, but this is how I do it, and I don't.
No, but you know what though? At least they're number one, they're talking about it. Okay, they're talking about something that you're doing, which makes it into it should be the perfect marriage. Because when you're talking about doing something, now if you just want to talk about it.
No, but they're not talking directly about what I'm doing. They're talking about the the idea.
The idea of it. But the idea of it.
They need to understand
without translating it into on-the-ground stuff. Listen, you're not the only one who's doing great work for the soldiers. Thank God. There's a lot of people doing great work. And I would even venture to say that there should be, and I think that you should be the I mean, again, I'm not pitching for you, I don't work for you, whatever, and we're putting out this video, this interview, for hopefully a lot of people are going to watch this whole thing and understand that that there is it takes a special person, not only somebody like you who stood up and said, this is what the people of Israel need, and you did it without anybody asking you, no one hired you, you showed up, right? You're helping people, you have proof of concept, now you're raising some money here and there, people are, you already have that kind of space of, I have the experience working with people who don't have legs. There's not many people in this world who could say that.
Yeah.
And not just people without legs. Why don't they have legs? So you could put your kid to bed at night. That's why they don't have legs.
Exactly.
And I think that there is an opportunity for these big organizations or these big donors to say, you know what, I'm giving money and I wanted to make a real difference on the ground. But you know what, Sagi, you're not doing enough. You can't take your organization and just say, okay, I am only one person and I can work with 3 guys a day if I'm lucky. You need to be able to start building a team and training them through your experience. And I think that's where any organization or any donor could say, that's where your value is. Because honestly, like when people are looking to spend money in order to do something, they're looking for scale. 25,000 people. How do you reach even 5,000 soldiers that are doing it? You can't do that on your own.
This is exactly why I founded House of Heroes, in order to scale it up, in order to get a big place outside of the hospital, train the trainers, and bring other professionals, physiotherapists, hydrotherapists, CrossFit instructors. I want the guys to come into a place, a one-stop shop, a holistic space for rebuilding their resilience, physically and mentally. There will also be psychologists, psychotherapists, because it's combined. It's attached, of course, but it goes body and soul. First the body, the soul would go with the body. This is what we believe in, and I know the guys. I know what they need. They talk to me. And girls. They talk to me every day. And again, we said they are fighters. They want to be treated like fighters. They want to be looked like as fighters. They want to feel like fighters. They want the fists up. They want to punch. They want to elbow. They want to lift weights. They want to, they want to feel alive. And this is what we are going to do.
How many soldiers have you worked with? So wait, first of all, when did you first start? Like, when did you first show up?
October 7th.
You showed up October 7th, not doing what you're doing now.
I was here October 7th at the helicopter pad, waiting for soldiers to come out of the helicopters, looking for the soldiers from my unit, and taking them into surgery rooms, calling their parents, calling their girlfriends.
You're the real deal.
I'm not the real deal.
No. You're doing the things that are normal. This is what normal human beings doing. No, but the thing is, this is what's normal, but life is full of static and noise and other priorities, and we lose the truth, the frequency, the simpleness. Like something happens, you show up. That's it.
Yeah.
I have a lot to learn from you.
This is my life's mission. So after 2 months of doing it, this was my reserves. October 7th, I was called for the unit, and I turned around and I came here because I said, listen,
you're better here.
I'm better here than there. And I came here and I was with the soldiers. You know, they were in induced coma, they were in bad situations, and I was speaking to them. I was next to their beds, and I was speaking to them as their commander, as their instructor in the unit. You know, I always say I was the voice in their heads. As a trainer, I always told them, you know, you have to be strong, you have to be resilient. When something happens, you don't freeze, you act, you fight. You know, I always say this is the voice in the head, that when something happens, you have this voice, you have my voice for them. And now again, I'm sitting next to their beds and I'm the voice in their heads again. And I'm talking to them and I'm telling them, you know, you'll get through this, you'll wake up and you'll start training with me and you'll go back to life and you'll go back even stronger and you'll go back to the unit and you'll go back fighting. So this was, you know, 2 months, and then I was supposed to go back to the unit, to go back training there. I started doing that, and I was training there during the days, I came here during the nights. Then, you know, there were so many soldiers here. It was like 2-3 months after the war started. Thousands of injured soldiers here, and everybody wanted to train. Everybody wanted a piece of resilience. So I started helping them rehabilitate by training, by doing Krav Maga, by doing fighting.
In the hospital, the doctors, everybody, what was their response? I mean, you're coming in, I mean, it's crazy.
It's crazy, but I think that they saw the benefit, and they saw how important it is, and they saw how important it is for the soldiers and the improvement. It helped them. I'm helping them. You know, the physiotherapists and the doctors, they call me. Can you please come here and train this guy instead of physiotherapy? Because, you know, they're doing amazing jobs, but this is...
Do you also consult with them? Like, how far could I take them?
Yeah, of course.
You have to.
You know, of course. I need to know what, you know, he had a surgery, he had an operation, he had something done to him. What can I do? Can I go from the wheelchair to the ground, from the ground to the bed? Can he stand up on his prosthetics yet? Can he balance himself on one leg? You know, it varies.
Is this model that you've kind of fallen into? I mean, you didn't go online and Google, like, how do you rehab a soldier who lost legs? Like, that's not what you did.
No.
You showed up and you're probably a lot more effective now than you were the first day.
Exactly.
There's no question, right?
Yes,
so you're learning.
I'm learning as I'm going, of course.
Is there, you know, I mean, there's an organization in America called Wounded Warriors, which is an amazing organization that kind of, they'll build houses and outfit it for I mean, they do it big scale, right? But is there something like this around the world that kind of fits in the same kind of category, or do you think that you kind of created your own?
I think I've created my own thing, my own system, and you know, it's a privilege. I always say life is everything. Is everything that happens when you make other plans. You know, this wasn't my plan when I retired the army 3 years ago, and but this is much more important for me today. And I always say, maybe I'm not a millionaire in my bank account, but I'm a millionaire at heart.
Well, that's the most important thing. And I'll tell you, when it comes to finding purpose in their life,
exactly,
it's one of those things where if with purpose or without, it directly affects your mental status. I mean, people who are very wealthy without purpose, they're miserable. People who are poor with purpose are very happy. But I would like to say that, and maybe we could end it here, is that you showed up because that was your purpose, and your purpose is to give other people their purpose back in the soldiers. And I think that it could be also an extension of people supporting the work that you do and supporting the scaling of the work that you do, which is most important. That could give them purpose. And I think that, you know, by you being a vessel, because it's not about you. You know, it's not about you. You're just a vessel. You're just there, and you're bringing people together and training and doing things. But like, I think that your fortitude and your commitment to the Jewish people and to people just in general is a really it's purpose. That's the one word I just keep thinking when I'm sitting with you, is this purpose. And I think that anybody who should connect with you, who is looking to be part of this purpose, who connects with this purpose, should get active.
Thank you. For me, it's an easy choice. Yes, it's an easy, I think it's the most important thing people can donate money to today. Rehabilitating and helping the resilience, physically and mentally, of the wounded heroes that gave everything for the Jewish people, the Israeli state, the Western world. They gave their lives, they gave their bodies. I'm talking, of course, they gave their bodies physically. And we need to do everything we can in order to support them today, because their war is just starting. And if you turn your camera just for a second and you see the guys here around, without two limbs, two legs and an arm, and you understand that these are, the heroes, and you can't even imagine what they'll go through in the next decade.
Yeah.
Trust me, you cannot imagine. Nobody can understand. Yeah. Even if you see my videos and you see, stories of triumphs, and you see them, holding their fists up and going out of the hospital on their feet or on the wheelchair, but with their hands up and fighting, it's a small part of their day. Their day is hard, and it's difficult, and it's a lot of hardships, and it's ups and a lot of downs. And I will always be there to pick them up and to help them, to lift them up. But yes, we need the support. We need the support of the people. I want to build a place where, they'll feel comfortable. Well, they'll feel the love and their honor they should receive, and they could come and train there as they should.
And any donor could come and visit.
Of course.
You'll have a little.
It will be donor friendly.
You'll have a little coffee corner.
It will be donor friendly.
Maybe put their name on the wall.
Yes, maybe. I'm not aiming to those people. That's
no.
I know. That's the truth. I'm not aiming to those people. I'm not aiming for the donors who like the big guys.
No.
And they like the big
I have to tell you something. No, you got it wrong.
I understand that this is the business.
Wait, no. You got it wrong. So I know this. I know a billionaire guy who gives a lot of money, puts his name on everything.
Send me his number later.
I asked his number. Yeah. I'm sorry. I asked his daughter, why did your father put his name on everything? You guys are very modest people.
So he won't forget.
No. She said, my father should live to 120, but when he's not in this world, he wants everybody to know what he was about. No. And at that point, whenever I saw names on the wall, that flipped I said, that's important. Put someone's name on the wall, because they're not always going to be here. And they want their children and their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren to go back to this rehabilitation center. Please God, we'll have no more wars, and you could close down and turn into a falafel store. Yeah. But if it doesn't, then I want the donors' grandchildren to be able to go there and be like, my grandfather, this is what he was about, because his name is on the wall. That's why you should put their name on the wall. It's important for that reason, and that reason alone. It's enough.
Good. Thank you.
You're amazing.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.